back to the issue of the hole in my car. I have now decided I am actually going to weld on a sheet that goes down there, and then probably hammer it in a little ways and then Bondo over it just to be nice and smooth. But I am going to put some steel back in the car, so I've started with a piece of just cereal box cardboard. Got it kind of cut out to the right shape and size. I'll refine that in a little closer, decide where I want that edge to be, and then cut it out and weld it on. Once you get your shape cut out to satisfaction, you gotta then decide where all the bends are gonna be. First bend will be right about there. It's kind of crookedy. Cardboard's a little more forgiving than steel. Still kind of crooked. That's the angle that bend is at. Yeah, there we go. And then that'll kind of curve down to there. So that's pretty accurate, and with the steel I can hammer it in a ways and get it sorted to just the right thickness. So now I've got that, that's what I'm going to go make in steel. Now obviously something like a press brake or a roller would be ideal for this, but I'm going to go with good old-fashioned bench vise and hammer. Well, it's definitely going to take some hammering to death once it's on there, but I think all in all that'll do. I've left this way over so I can hammer that over and make an edge, kind of like is already there a little bit. So now I just got to prep this, get it all shinied up, get a couple tacks, kind of get it in place. Today I will be using the Harbor Freight 90 amp flux core wire feed welder. So we'll see if I make a mess of this. If I do, it won't be like a lot lost because this is pretty flimsy anyway, and I can always just revert to either screwing on a patch and then filling over the screws or all kinds of other stuff, but mostly I just want to see if I can do this, so I'm gonna give it a go. They say welding is like 80% prep and then 10% just doing it and then 10% grinding it off and painting it, but I've never been a fan of prep. So far so good, it stays on. See if I can get some spots in the middle now. That's what happens when you try to weld onto slag. You don't conduct and then your wire pushes out. It's just terrible. Alright, there's our first melt through hole. My bad. Focused a little bit high on some kind of rusty metal. Will do. Well, this looks absolutely awful, but I think grind it down smooth, see where it's thin, it should be alright. This one you can see was getting a bit hot because it's got the splatters and all that, but the other ones, the little spots and all that, those tacks, those are pretty good. So I think I'm satisfied. A little bit of grinding later, and that's not all that bad. It's definitely on there pretty strong. It holds, you know, about as well as the rest of the sheet does. One of these was a screw hole because somebody had priorly screwed a thing in this, so I'm not sure which one's a screw hole and which one I melted through, but I definitely melted through at one point. So other than that, the lumpiness as well, just gonna hammer it in a little bit and then smooth filler right over the top, and that'll be good as new, I guess. Forgot the ground clamp, that's important. For this, I think I'm going to turn my wire speed all the way up, because more wire means it cools a little bit quicker, and you don't have to sit on it as long, so you don't get nearly as much heat buildup and that kind of thing. So, full wire speed ahead. Alright, so as you can see there, it looks terrible. The weld's pretty solid. There's only a few little melt-through holes and a couple little slag holes. For a car like this, I mean, the other side I did nothing but Bondo. There's little rust spots everywhere. I'm really just not worried about it. As long as I can fill it in from the outside and then spray a little undercoating on the inside, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy. And I'm very happy with this little welder. It really is just kind of point and shoot. You can see I was kind of welding on top of slag and all that, and even then it came out pretty solid metal through there, so yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. So now I got that slice in there just to make this a little easier, and I'll see if I can hammer that in and get a pretty good sharp line there. I probably can't, but I'll give it a go. And worst comes to worst, I'll cover it with body filler. This would be a lot easier if this tire were not in the way. So maybe I will move my car slightly and get the steering all the way to one side. That is much better. You see I got that kind of hammered in there, and really I am quite satisfied with that curve. It looks like a pretty nice continuation. The radius is not as sharp as the other one, but I don't really care that much.